What's up, guys? It's your man, Donovan Sharp, and welcome to another edition of Elite Level Game. I am joined, as always, by Coach Everett Overton. You guys can check him out on YouTube, Instagram, also your website. What is your website called?
Yeah, championgamecoaching.com. Yep.
championgamecoaching.com. Your webmaster, whoever built your website, did a really good job, man.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. Yeah, we worked hard on that. I'm not an easy guy to work for. Every detail, man. I have my hands on it. So, but yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, it looks good, man. It looks. I like how everything is uniform.
Yes.
Everything is very, very uniform in terms of the way things go. So
yeah, I wanted to make sure that everything was on brand. So everywhere you go, you're going to see the logo, and there's going to be a consistency throughout. And I try to do that in my messages too. You know what I mean? But but it's good to be back with you, man. Hope all is well with you and your household. I'm sure it is, and it's good to be back with the people.
Yeah, man. I've actually, the last couple of days, if I can just diverge, the last couple of days, my energy has been really, really low, man. I don't know if it's too much work, whatever the case may be, but I feel a little bit better today. I haven't eaten anything today. I've eaten, Dev took Olivia shopping today, to get her some new shoes. And I think they stopped by Aunt Annie's, and she got me some of those bite-sized pigs in a blanket. I had a few of those, and that was that. So I guess I'm sort of doing a cleanse to kind of cleanse my body, maybe. And today I haven't done any caffeine, no kratom, no nothing. Just doing a little bit of a washout, a little bit.
Well, you've been working out like Clubber Lane, brother. So. Hey, every athlete, every person, everybody needs a break, man. Right. I take breaks too. So, as a matter of fact, I wrote a chapter on it in the new book. I don't want to give too much away, but I talk about the importance of taking. Book's almost done, so just a quick update. Book is almost done. Yes. So
okay, good. Yeah. I was going to say, since I'm training like Clubber Lang, I will say this: no, I do not accept Rocky Balboa's challenge, because Rocky Balboa is no challenge. But I'll be happy to beat up on him some more. Here we go.
Come here, woman. Hey,
yeah. Oh my God! You mean I said, "Hey, woman"?
Hey, what do you say? Hey, woman. Yeah. Hey, woman.
Yeah, like I remember watching that as a kid. I was like, because as a kid, you actually think this is kind of real. I think I was like 9 years old. I was like, oh, is Mr. T hitting on Adrian? Oh my God, what's Rocky gonna do? Oh, it was so funny.
Yeah. I had a breakdown, man, when Apollo died, because I was young then too. That was in 1985, so I was 5 years old, and I was watching it, and I thought it was real, and I had a breakdown. I'm like, oh shit, not Apollo,
damn. Look, dude, listen, man. One of the greatest days of my life is I'm sitting in Mr. Fitzgerald. I was in fourth grade. I was actually living in New Jersey. And boop, Mr. Fitzgerald, would you please send Alex Hopkins down to the principal's office? So I'm like, oh God, what did I do this time? And there is my dad with 2 tickets to go see the matinee for Rocky IV on opening night. I was the happiest freaking kid in the world. Had nightmares about Ivan Drago for a week. I could not believe
that dude was scary back then, man. That was a heck of a movie for 1985.
Apollo is dead. I was like dead? And my dad was like, yes. Well, the character is dead, but Carl Weathers is alive. I didn't know who Carl Weathers was. I just knew that Apollo Creed was dead. That's all I knew.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Yeah, I walk down memory lane there. Okay, so let's get into the topic, man. Let me go ahead and bring this up. Share my screen. This is a very, very interesting topic, because I didn't really put a bug in your ear in terms of what sides we were going to talk about this, but you mentioned to me exactly what I was thinking, and that there are 2 sides to every story. So I'm just going to read the first part of this. So this was originally posted on The Guardian, and this was posted today, actually. This morning at 4 a.m. It's about a 10-minute read. We're not going to read the whole thing, but it says, femicides in the U.S., the silent epidemic few dare to name. The last week of July, as Gabby Petito and her fiance Brian Laundrie, I guess it's Laundrie, posted Instagram photos of themselves hiking barefoot in Utah's Canyonlands National Park. Bronzed skin matching apricot-colored rocks, the body of Jerry Winters was discovered in Clinton Township, Michigan. Her boyfriend, Matthew Lewinsky, immediately attempted immediately admitted to the police that he strangled her last December, keeping her mutilated body in the basement of the home they shared for months. The same week, down in Starkville, Mississippi, William Chisholm was convicted of capital murder in the death of his ex-girlfriend, Dr. Shauna Witt. 1 month following her breakup with him, Chisholm stormed the Walmart eye clinic where Witt worked as an optometrist and shot her dead. Over in Baltimore, Maryland, Gomez Geka Chisala was that same week being held without bail after confessing to the killing of his ex-girlfriend, Shania Green, a life-loving nurse and mother of two who once traveled to Africa to walk among elephants. I love how they're painting this woman as a saint. Not to say that anybody deserves to die, but this is the way the media spins things. Earlier in the month, Shisala had driven to Green's home with a gun, entered into an argument with her, and shot her in the head. Year after year, FBI statistics on nationwide homicides reveal that a vast proportion of women killed in the U.S. are killed by current or former intimate partners. According to the CDC, homicide is the fourth leading cause of death for girls and women 1 to 19 years old, and the fifth leading cause of death for women 20 to 44. The heart-wrenching confirmation in the remains of Petito had been found in Wyoming, and the search for laundry deemed a, quote, person of interest in what was now ruled a homicide begs for scrutiny, not only of the circumstances of Petito's devastating disappearance, but draws sorely needed attention to a form of widespread gender deadly violence in the U.S. that has long been hiding in plain sight. So let me get your initial thoughts on what we've read so far, Eo. What are your thoughts on this femicide here?
All right. Well, the first thing, I'll tell you what I thought of the first time I read this. I was reading it during the Bears game as they were embarrassing themselves, and I said, let me just take some notes.
They got to get that offensive line taken care of, man. You can't put that on field, bro.
I know. They didn't help him out today. The first thing I thought is, thank goodness that the manosphere exists. Okay, yes. Channels like this exist for men to come here and to learn about manhood, about about women, how about self-control, building a life. Because the first thing I thought is that, and this isn't 100% true, but I thought that these men clearly are very self-deceptive, number one, and number two, yes, they don't have anything to lose. For example, if I heard Donovan Sharp. Okay, I'm just going to say this. If I read Donovan Sharp just shot Devin in the head, okay, I wouldn't believe it at all. Why wouldn't I believe that? Because Donovan has way too much going on for himself and way too much to lose right, his life and to take a life over a woman. Okay, so that was the first thing I thought, is that men that are building a life, a wonderful life, that isn't wrapped around a woman and having her with him. Guys like this aren't going to take drastic measures like this. And these are very clearly very emotional responses, clearly passionate emotional responses. So this is why I'm heavy on the side of it begins and ends with the man, and that yep, you have to be disciplined. You have to have a life before women enter your life. You can never make a woman your life and to build your life around a woman. No, you build your life around the man, and then later you select a qualified woman to enter your life. So that was the first thing I thought of, is that these men clearly were emotionally unstable, highly self-deceptive, and clearly didn't have something outside of this woman, at least in that moment. I do get it. We have breaks, emotional breaks. Sure. But you have to know how to manage that. You have to even see the future in some sense. You have to know that it's very possible this relationship is going to take a downward spiral at some point, because that's the nature of dealing with human beings, is that nothing remains consistent. Relationships require management. They require making tough decisions. Hey, you got to make tough decisions. And if you're with a woman that is riling you up and pushing your buttons, and hey, instead of fighting with her or arguing with her, I'm not saying to get rid of her right away. Coach her. But if she shows you that she's not good for you, please let that woman go and do it on your terms. And I'll say this real quick. I'll throw it to you. A lot of the time, men are upset and react this way because they weren't the ones doing the breaking up. They were the ones being broken up with. And I'm heavy on the side of, Men, please have a standard. Please do not let women come in your life and screw things up. Okay, get rid of her before she gets rid of you.
Yeah, get rid of her. In other words, get her out of your life.
Yes,
In
don't
other
kill
words,
her.
before you get rid of her, right? Listen, I agree with you. I totally agree with you. And you know, one thing that I always tend to point out when, and we hear these stories all the time, right? We hear, you know, man kills wife, right? Like Chris Benoit, the Canadian crippler. That was a horrible scene. He went into roid rage, apparently, killed his wife and his kid. Right. We've heard stories about men who go in and they kill their families, they off everybody, et cetera, et cetera. And listen, these men are rightfully prosecuted and thrown in jail forever. They like offing people is wrong. I don't care what they've done. Now, of course, that depends on the situation. If someone offed my brother, well, guess what? I guess we're going to lose 2 lives today because I'm going to go get that son of a bitch. That's just how it is for me. But the way it always goes is if a woman kills her lover or ex-boyfriend or whatever the case may be, nobody really, for the most part, nobody really, they always ask why. When a man kills a woman, it's instantly, he's got to be thrown to the gallows, blah, 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 blah.
Judgment.
Mm-hmm. Right, yep. Right. Okay, that's fine. We got to know all the facts, but listen, I understand it, right? Especially if you're the victim's family. But when a woman kills a man, they're always like, well, wait a minute. Let's figure out why this happened, right? Okay, so she killed her husband, she killed her boyfriend, killed her ex-boyfriend, but why? The Jodi Arias thing, like how long was that drawn out before she was finally found guilty? They found Scott Peterson guilty in 5 minutes, which they absolutely should have. That's always the way it goes. But it would appear that society at large, they tend to excuse women for the same behaviors that men engage in. That's where I draw the line. Men, we don't have, there is no reasoning for us. We don't even need to send him to the jury. We need to get rid of this guy right now. And again, I understand why people would most certainly feel that way. However, the media very, very, very rarely, I don't want to say takes the side of men, but they're always quick to blame. They're always quick to almost canonize the women, just like in this article. I picked up on this. I picked up on this when I actually read it. It said, Ashanya Green, a life-loving nurse and mother of 2 who once traveled to Africa to walk among elephants, as though traveling to Africa and walking among elephants was akin to spending, a year and a half in Africa trying to get them fresh water. No, there's nothing impressive about that. What they do is they canonize female victims, but they always demonize male victims. Well, he probably deserved it. Well, she said that it was an abusive relationship, so she had to kill her. Well, she said her life was in danger, so she had to do it. There are always excuses made for women when they commit the same crimes as men. Do you feel that way, or do you think it's a little different?
No, I do feel that way. And if you, I've heard you say this before too, that you and Devin watch like murder shows and such.
Oh, that is
try to refocus this, and I enjoy those too. There we go. Maybe that's a little bit better. And so, if you notice, the sentencing for women is far less drastic than it is for men. I mean, you'll see that, like on Snapped, for example, the show where women, all the men, the show is completely wrapped around that. Is like they're all female killers. Yes. Killing their boyfriends, husbands, and and such. And if you pay attention to the sentencing, a lot of it is completely mismanaged. I mean, a guy's going to get life for a murder. She gets 10 years. She's out in 5. And it's not quite the same prison either. And so I do feel there's a lot of double standards, but it's not going to change. And so that's why I tell men, hey, is it fair? No, it's not, but there's ways around that. Manage your emotions. Be very choosy of who you allow into your life, and these problems will be limited by far. I did take a couple of notes that at some point I do want to share with the audience, because there might be maybe one and a half women watching us, and so that maybe the 2 women that were on your show recently are watching. I always say this, that seek a man. I wrote or typed this. Seek a man. This is for women, but men can learn from this. Seek a man that is rooted in self-awareness and authenticity. Okay. Because nice guys really not nice. They're the most deceptive men. Okay. And eventually, while he's deceiving himself, he will deceive you. Okay. So I always tell men or women, the best men to try to grab and marry are guys that have plenty of options. Because I'm going to tell you something right now. A man that has 10, 15, 20 women that would love to be with him ain't going to be busy killing your ass.
Nope.
So he's not going to only the soft man with no options and not a lot of experience with women are the guys that get really hooked on sex and women. Okay. They get that taste of pussy and they go fucking nuts, YouTube chill. So the guy that is constantly winning in his life, okay, and upgrading himself every year, making more money, being a better man, being a more authentic man, just grinding it out and becoming the best version of himself. This guy's got nothing but options, and those are the men that women should seek. Here's the problem with that: they don't want to humble themselves to that man. They don't want to be feminine to that man. They don't want to be subservient to that man. And that's why you can't get that man. So what's going to happen is you're going to go get that softy that pedestalizes you and he's a fucking simp. And what's going to happen is you're going to mistreat him, okay, and want to leave at some point. And because that motherfucker can't replace you, YouTube chill, he's going to kill your ass. Right. So the best man to go for women is that guy that women want him. Shit, men want to network with him. He makes money. He builds a dope life. He certainly doesn't need you. But if you know how to treat that man, you learn that man inside and out, front cover to back cover. You learn that man and you submit to that man and be feminine and follow his lead. He'll invite you in. Okay, he'll invite you in, but you got to know your role. But the problem is today's woman doesn't want to do that.
That's right. And I agree with you. Something you said there is very important. Men of value, men who have other shit going on in their lives besides women, those are the hardest men to please. Women want it both ways. They want they want the guy who's easy to be with, who doesn't have any standards, but then when they fuck him over, they want the guy to just walk away. Well, if you get with a man of value, right? A man of value, I mean, he'll keep you in line. Oh, I can't stand the way Donovan does this, does that, whatever. I'm out of here. All right. I mean, Donovan's not going to do anything about it because, again, Donovan can replace you. Donovan has far too much to lose. So, hey, you got and then they wonder why isn't Donovan chasing after me? Why isn't it this and why doesn't he care? Well, it's because he doesn't. If you decide you don't want to be a part of my life anymore, I'm not tripping. So then they go to the opposite. Oh, here's the safe guy, the safe option. He doesn't call me out on my bullshit. He doesn't go through my phone. He doesn't do this. He doesn't do that. He's very, very easy to be with. But then when he catches you fucking your coworker, because just like you said, because he can't replace you, these are the men who go crazy and off their girlfriends and wives. And let's not pretend. I'm going to go ahead and say this here. This might not be popular, but nobody deserves to die. Okay, nobody deserves to get their life taken, especially over some relationship type bullshit. It is what it is. But let's not pretend that these women were saints, right? Listen, man, there are some men who off their wives when they find out 3 out of his 5 kids are not his. I'm not saying it would not be right for him to emotionally vent. Offing her would not be the right thing to do. But by the same token, 3 out of 5, like I actually had a call when I was in Reno. The guy found out 3 out of his 5 kids were not his. So his wife was cheating on him throughout the relationship. Dude, women setting up a secret bank accounts, secret savings accounts. Women who get married, women will get married and already have a divorce lawyer on retainer. Women have completely destroyed the dating market. And what has begun to happen is that more men and women, there are more single men and women than there ever have been in human history. Birth rates are down. I read an article earlier that said 60% of all college students are now women, 40% are men. Well, that means that there's less procreation going on there. Women wanted this dating environment. They got it. But now they got to live with the consequences because feminism created the beta male. Feminism created the beta male. Feminism created men and boys. Like, check this out. Feminism created Eric Harris and Dylan Klebold. Read Columbine High School. Feminism created Sung Wee Cho, Reed, Virginia Tech. Feminism created Nicholas Cruz down at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School. Feminism has created these school pew-pewers. The guy who was down in Atlanta pew-pewing all of the Asians. Feminism did that. This stuff did happen, but it was very, very rare. But little by little, it was interesting because throughout the 80s, school pew-pewings were semi-frequent. But the one that rocked the world was in Eagleton, Colorado, at Columbine High School in 1999. Eric Harris and Dylan Klebold. That's when we knew we had a problem. Eric Harris and Dylan Klebold were created by feminism, and all of the quote-unquote incels, Alec Manassian, Elliot Rodger, what's the other guy? All of these self-proclaimed incels who go off venting off their frustrations and taking it out on women. This is what feminism has created. It has created now 2 generations of men who were told and raised to believe that women were one thing. Not only are they learning that women are completely the opposite, they are running into women who are willfully fucking them over. So again, red rum is against the law. It's wrong. You shouldn't do that. But this is like this. Unfortunately, this is what it's come to. And I believe feminism is the root cause.
Yeah, you know what? And I even sometimes like to say that beta males allowed feminism to take place. Okay, so
Yes, sir.
it wasn't that they began it; it was that men allowed it. And then, of course, as you always say, and even I allude to, that if you give women enough, if you give them a long enough leash, they're gonna fuck everything up. All right.
Right.
I said this yesterday, that a woman can handle a basic ground ball and possibly throw it to first to get the out.
Right.
But if there's a weird hop, or she's got a slide, and she ain't making that out, bro. A man's got to make that out, and that's just the bottom line. Let me tell guys this up front: women are manipulators and liars. Okay. Now, is this bad? I know it's just the way women are. Okay, this is part of their defense. Okay, this is how they get things accomplished.
Am I wrong?
Yes, it's their survival mechanism. Right. Yes. So it's not bad that they're liars and manipulators, but what is wrong is for a man to follow her bullshit lead. Okay, this is why I always say that expect her to lie, expect her to be deceitful and manipulative, because that's all they are. But how you push her into the truth is by you being truthful. Okay, by you being upfront, transparent, and truthful. It's inevitable that she's going to show her cards. Okay, right. It's inevitable. Right. So if you want to know the truth about a woman, be as honest with yourself and as honest with them as possible from the very first hello, and you're going to find out exactly who you're dealing with. So in order to overcome this problem that women are liars and their whack game, women to me have the worst game. I mean, to me, because I push them right into their bullshit. My truth and my transparency and honesty and authenticity pushes them right into their insecurities and their bullshit. So everything comes out, and I know what I'm dealing with. So guys, I want to tell you, don't let them lie to you. They're going to try to lie to you. They are going to lie to you. They are going to manipulate. They're going to be deceitful. But the more honest and the more standards you have as a man, the quicker she's going to see, oh, damn, this is not a chump. I'm not used to a guy like this. So she's got a decision to make. Either I move forward with this real man, or I run away from this real man and go back to lying to these beta males.
Dude, I swear to God, man, we've got to have the same mother, man. We got to have the same mom, different daddies. Like, our mom has to be the same hoe. Like, she's got to be. That's exactly what I say all the time. As soon as a woman figures out that you are about your shit and she cannot get over on you, she's got a choice to make. She can either cut bait and find someone who will swallow her bullshit and like the taste, or she can fall in. Either way, you're not going to have to deal with her bullshit. I could not have said that any better. The phone lines are open, guys. 516-387-1987. 516-387-1987. If you're calling from outside the U.S., it is 001 516-387-1987. King Chris with the $5 super chat says, great show, guys. I appreciate it. What are your thoughts on men having underlying mental and emotional health issues related to this topic? I've got my thoughts on that. What are your thoughts on that, EO?
Got to seek help. I mean, you got to go to a doctor and get a proper diagnosis. You can't fuck around with that. Okay. So, I never claimed to be a doctor, a therapist. I'm a coach, I can definitely help you out. But when it comes to getting a proper diagnosis for mental illness, I'm going to push you to a doctor. So, and don't be ashamed of that, man. You're going to hear a lot of guys in the manosphere say, oh, be a fucking man. Like, just get your life together. Like, hey, you can't get your life together. If you have a chemical imbalance or something is off in your system, you can't get your life together. Okay. You're not going to be able to do it. So you need a proper diagnosis, and a strong man is going to the doctor. A weak man is not.
That's right. Listen, I could not agree more. It took me years and years to go to the doctor. And really the only reason why I did is because my very freedom was at stake. Like in order to not have to go to jail, I had to seek counseling, and I sought counseling. I went to a doctor, and I was diagnosed. I had an anger condition. It is called intermittent explosive disorder. This means that anything at any time could piss me right off, and then I go, Jesus, hey, answer the door. God damn it.
There it is. It popped up. No,
right, exactly. Yeah, right. Yeah, no, there it is. There it is. Like I hear my thing go off twice. I'm like, but I had to, you're right. I had to humble myself. Because no, there's nothing wrong with me. I'm just doing too much blow, drinking too much whiskey. Well, the blow and the whiskey certainly didn't help, but there is a chemical imbalance in my brain that causes me to fly off the head. Dude, I've been this way since I was a kid. And only by the grace of whatever forces are around me am I not either dead or in prison. And it took strength for me to have to do that and sort of abide by the teachings and the strategies. Now, I'm not a medications guy. I didn't want to go on medication because I didn't want to sap my creativity and energy. So what I did is I sought alternative substances like kratom, and kratom has done a spectacular job in keeping me under control. But with regards to this particular question, the reason why I never hauled off or offed any bitch is because, fortunately for me, during the time I was up to my eyeballs in strippers and blow. Well, guess what? Like, I had abundance. So if a girl fucked me over, no problem. Just the next one gets up in line. And if you'll notice, and you probably agree with this too, EO, any man that actually has the capacity to take another woman's life is a man who is never good with women, ever.
Yes,
dude. Yes. Listen, man, even 100%. Jamario, that ain't shit nigga who lives in the hood, got 10 baby mamas, he's not killing any goddamn women. Why? Because he steady gets pussy. And a lot of guys can sit here and say, well, pussy isn't everything, blah, 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 blah. And you would be absolutely right. But I'll tell you this. Eric Harrison, Dylan Klebold, not good with women. Nicholas Cruz, not good with women. Elliot Rodger, died a virgin. Alec Manassian, not good with women. If Andreas Lubitz, who flew the German Wings flight back in 2014 into the French Alps, killed everybody on the plane. He did it because he was going through it with a breakup with a girl. If a man is reasonably good with women, he will not take the life of women. As stereotypical and shallow as that sounds, those are the facts. What do you think of that?
Yeah, no, I do agree. I also think like these breaks, I know they call it a psychotic break, if I'm saying that correctly, but this is a buildup over time. This usually doesn't just happen when you wake up in the morning and someone throws the newspaper at your window and now you want to go out and kill the paper boy. I mean, this is like, this is like a slow buildup of frustration, unhappiness, unfulfillment, just in your life as a man. I mean, it could be that you're not getting laid, but I still suspect that that's not the core problem. It's just you have a passionless life. Okay, and there's nothing to your life that is exhilarating and to you, and I think you know that, and everybody knows that the life clock is always ticking, and we always know this. So it's just builds frustration. So that's why you should hire a coach. You should buy Donovan's courses to learn these things. I mean, this is why you should do it, especially when you're young. And I'm not trying to sell anything right now. I'm just being honest. If you can get all the game that I had to live through for 41 years in a book, okay, and read about that and get ahead of the game right now, you'd be a wise man. You'd be a wise man. So don't wait until you hit rock bottom. And also, the more substances you put in your body, alcohol, drugs, lack of sleep, I mean, there's just a lot. The worse you're going to feel, the more emotional outbursts you're going to have. So Get a grip, man. It's a lifestyle. Being a winner and a champion is a complete lifestyle.
100%.
It's not one thing. It's everything that follows one another in life. So, and you'll notice, I'm just being honest. A lot of guys say, hey, if you get on your purpose, you're not going to get women. The reason why you get women and women are looking at you and choosing you when you're on your purpose, I know that's big here. It's not for me, how I teach it, it's not because you have more money. It's not because you have a fancier car. It's that you're a happier man.
That's right.
You're just a happier man. Like me, for example, I got a beautiful car right now, but there's another car I'm looking at right now, and it's not. And
there it is.
Yeah. Okay. And here's this. I'm not thinking of a woman at all with this car. I'm thinking of me being behind that wheel and gripping that steering wheel and getting that AMG power, baby. I want that AMG power. So
fucked it up and gave it away. Oh shit.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is, woo, this has nothing to do with wanting a woman. Ain't no women getting in there. Maybe SNO. But yeah, I mean, I don't even let women in my car, to be honest with you. A lot of guys get Lambos and shit, and they want to pick women up. I'm like, bitch, you don't even deserve to get in my car. I'll be there. I'll meet you there. Take a Uber. Fuck that. You ain't getting in my ride. So what I'm saying is, do these things in life for you. If you're doing these things for you, and I'm not saying you don't have other people in mind. Look, if there's somebody special in your life, you have them in mind, courteous to, yeah, sure. But do it for you, and you're going to be a happier man, a more fulfilled man. And naturally, you're going to exude a different confidence. You're going to be less thirsty, and you're just going to have options galore, man. So,
dude, I could not have said that any better. I think the take the Uber, you don't deserve to be in my car, bitch. That was the comment of the day. Devin, it's true, man. So Devin writes in, she says, and we'll get to Kareem in NYC here in just a second on the phone lines. She says, society's approach to this problem is, quote, men are bad. Rather than let's try to figure out why these men felt this was the only option, let's help men not get zeroed out or give men resources for help. That's the bottom line here, EO. The United States treats men like shit. They really, really do. They tell men to go to college, get a good job, and the world is your oyster. Men go to college. They see how girls act in college. They see girls these days, hashtag me too and everybody, getting flown out to different countries because they can't compete. And then they get out into the job world and they actually find a woman who can tolerate them. They have a couple of kids with them. She gets tired of them. She takes she wants to get a divorce. She's having an affair. She takes half she takes the kids, the house, and half of all of his present and future earnings. That's enough to drive a man to do some very, very bad things. And I think that has a lot to do with this problem. Do you think that could have something to do with it as well?
I do. I think social conditioning has a lot to do with a lot of people's anger and frustration, but men and women are both being exposed to it. So it's not just necessarily a male problem. It's not, it's both. Like I said, man, this is why men are the superior of the two. Right. But you have to live that. You have to behave that. You have to talk that. You have to demonstrate that, and then women will fall. A woman's going to fall in line when she sees, I can't break this dude.
Let me ask you this.
She's just going to do it. Yes. Yeah.
You said you have to demonstrate that. Tell the guys how you demonstrate being a select man or living the dope life. I think that's very important.
Okay. It's difficult to demonstrate it early on because you don't know yourself yet and you haven't really figured out like what you want. So you're not going to know that necessarily in your 20s. Right. Although if you listen to guys like us, you'll learn it faster than you think. Okay. But we didn't have the internet. So we had to just go out there and learn through trial and error. Like, okay, that didn't work. Okay. I should never drove to her house. Okay. Next time she's got to come to me. Like these are things I think about. I've been to women's houses before, and then I've seen headlights pull in the driveway and cars circling the block because she's a hoe and she's got motherfucking dudes. She's got simps. Wanting to know who the fuck's car is that? My car. Who's that? Right. Whose car is that? But you think she cares? She don't care. She's actually, this is part of her game. She actually is trying to make that guy jealous or something. But she don't give a fuck that I'm gonna have to fight this dude outside by the curb. She don't give a fuck. So what I learn is I never go to women. Like I don't recommend that any man out here ever goes to a woman's house, meets her anywhere, everything has to be completely on your terms. Everything. She's got to meet you out where you're at. She's got to come to your place. If you don't like it, kick rocks. I don't give a fuck. So I'll say this. You got to live. You can't just read books. You can't just listen to podcasts. You actually have to go out there and live and try things, and then go back to the drawing board once you've had an experience and say, okay, I did this. I looked like this. I was feeling like this. I didn't have cologne on this day. I was in my feelings this day. My mommy made me mad. Whatever. You got to draw everything up from your physical appearance to your emotional state,
right?
And you got to draw it up and say, okay, now I got to improve from there. I didn't get the results I want, and it's on me why I didn't get the results I want. Now, of course, you can't force anybody, but I like to put the onus on you. So it's going to take a lot of experiences and a lot of trial and error for you to decide. So when you get to 30 years old, you could say, all right, I ain't never putting up with a bitch's attitude, so I'm letting her know off jump that my life is a well-oiled machine. I don't need you. However, I'd like to invite you in, but under these conditions. So you can't get to that point unless you've tasted a bitch. Okay. You got to know what a bitch is like to know you don't want bitches like a bitch. Right. You know what I'm saying? You got to know like how to coach yourself in order to coach her. See, if you have bad habits, you lack discipline, you don't get up early, you don't finish tasks. How can you successfully coach her? Because what's going to happen is she's going to be observing you and saying, all right, he wants to lead. Let me watch how he leads his own life first. And when she's watching, he pays his bills on time. His credit is good. He walks with his head up high. He networks with other winners. He loves himself. He just bought himself a brand new car. I haven't even been in it yet. He didn't even tell me about it. He just pulled up. and so when she sees that, she's like, okay, I'm with a champion. I'm with a winner. So now I will fall in line. But if I'm with a dude that has to go outside every 5 seconds to smoke a cigarette, and then he's freaking out every time something doesn't go his way, it's difficult for that woman to trust you and fall in line.
Very good. Wow, I could not have said that. Good God, might as well call this the EO show. Let's go to Kareem in the NYC. Want to know how to remain undistracted and be consistent. Go ahead.
Hey, how's it going, fellas? How you doing today?
Doing good.
Hey, what's up, bro?
I can't complain, man. Besides the Giants losing.
Oh yeah, last second field goal by the Falcons, right?
Man, yeah. Man, that fourth quarter with Daniel Jones, man, he's not it. But anyway, man, I appreciate you guys having me.
Of course.
I just wanted to know. Wanted to share a quick story because this story resonated with me that you guys had. I myself was with a woman for 5 years, right? Mm-hmm. And we had a kid together, and things started, to change, and we got into issues. And I had realized that I had made her my life. Like I had no life outside of her. My mom had died years previously. So I kind of attached myself with her
of course,
to deal with that rather than going to therapy, or, getting, seeking help. And, it's refreshing to me because at the time, like I'm like 6'7", I'm a big guy, 300 plus. So I almost got into a family, and that wouldn't have went well for them.
Nope.
Or me or my daughter. Ooh. It wouldn't have went well for anyone. But this situation taught me. Now we fast forward 2 years, man. I got injured on the job because I started working again after my daughter was born, and I'm waiting for a workers' comp settlement. And I've been planning, have business plans, my life. I've been on my purpose. I've been really like grinding. I make beats, went to school for that.
Good.
I've been, having a business plan drawn up for, a trucking company. So it's just, you guys make great points, man, where we just, Coach EO said it. Shout out to him, man. I actually got his book a couple months ago. And, what he spoke about today on your life not being, fantastic, or for lack of a better word, I don't remember the word he said per se, but it's just we as men, man, you know, since a lot of us were raised by women or we didn't have strong male leadership, we have to know your happiness is on you, no one else but you. And I realize that now.
Yeah, Kareem.
It's not on anybody to make me happy.
I appreciate the call, Kareem. Yeah. Listen, man, that is right. That is right out of the Coach EO playbook. And here's the thing, man. And shout out to Kareem for keeping it real, because when you're if your mother dies, it's very easy to get wrapped up in a woman to sort of compensate for that female companionship. But it's good that he recognized, wait a minute, there's a big difference between my mother and some bitch who's making my life miserable. I don't think he said that, but it's very, very easy to get wrapped up in a woman for a lot of reasons. Dude, if you lose your mother, your dog dies, your best friend dies, whatever the case may be, it's very, very easy to get wrapped up in a woman. And if you get wrapped up in a woman after something painful, you really start making some bad decisions.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to share something with the audience real quick. This might seem a little unusual, but this is part of my coaching style. I suggest that every person grieve the living. And what I mean by that is that everybody you know right now, including yourself, is going to die. So don't wait until they die to actually miss them or grieve them. Like you should be like kind of living in the future now, because anybody can die at any time. Okay. Right. No one is promised another day or another moment. So you almost have to kind of understand that as you're dealing with the people that you love, is that you're kind of looking at a dead person right now. And so, and they're currently breathing, but they're not going to be breathing very long. So you almost have to kind of grieve them and appreciate them now. So that way, when they do die, you're not devastated and now putting the responsibility on another human being, specifically a woman. Because if you're always kind of tapping into life and you understand the life process, which is birth, life, death.
Yeah.
When you understand that and accept that and live in that, it's still hard. It's still hard. It's not going to be as devastating as hard as if you know that each and every day, and you kind of know as you're dealing with people that you care about and love, that there's an expiration date on that relationship, and so you kind of prepare yourself emotionally that you kind of like grieving them now while they're alive. You don't want to overdo it, but there's an aspect of that you definitely want to tap into. That way you're not emotionally devastated and now putting the responsibility on someone else to fix you, heal you, and that sort of thing. So just remember to try to enjoy people, but grieve them at the same time, because even business relationships, they're wonderful, man. But at some point, maybe your content has taken a left turn and now it's a conflict of interest to deal with that other person, because if the two of you are saying different things and it's nothing personal, but one person had to kind of go on a separate road, and it's nothing personal, although it becomes very personal in this manosphere, because a lot of these guys that are coaches are very fucking soft, and you just got to really notice it. But this happens in all relationships. You know, people evolve, they change. If you're not changing together, you have to peacefully depart, and you have to accept that.
That is profound advice. Grieve the living. I don't think I've ever heard that before. That's incredible. Wow. So Ostrike with the and we've got Jay from outside the US and Joe in Boston up next on the lines. Ostrike, appreciate the $10 super chat, says, besides losing a woman, what if a woman permanently destroyed a high value man's reputation, family, career, freedom, prison, etc.? Do you think he would still take the high ground? What do you think? I think he probably
if he's truly a high value man, he wouldn't allow that to happen.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah. If he's if we're talking about a man who is not putting up with any bullshit, okay?
Right?
I mean, none, like literally none. He has plenty of options. He is not going to settle for a bitch. Okay, that's not going to happen. Okay,
man. Listen, women can never permanently damage a man who is truly high value. Listen, this doesn't mean that high value men are invincible. High value men run up on women who play the game a little bit better than they do. There's some trait or or some body part about her that he can't get enough of. For whatever reason, she gets over on him. But high value men get over those women a lot quicker than men who are not high value. So if you truly are high value, a woman can never permanently damage you. And if she does, then that's a you problem. That's not her problem. Just like EO said, women are going to lie. They're going to deceive. This is not because, in a lot of cases, it's not because they're trying to purposely knock you off your square. That's just what they do. They're women. They have to, like Steve the Dean says, they got to bite the gold every now and again just to make sure that the gold is real. But if you really are a high value man, a woman's never going to be able to permanently damage you. King Frost, $5 says, you guys are doing God's work, saving Sims from prison and death, and explaining how to deal with women. Appreciate that, man. We appreciate that very much. David, with the $5 super chat, says, one reason among several. If a man is given only one way to losing everything, others can't be surprised when he takes it. Wow. Very good. Levi Baloo, $5 said, could it be that testosterone causes men to get more violent than women? No, that's lack of self-control. We men, we are born with testosterone. We need to be able to control ourselves both physically and emotionally. Some men can, most men can, there are some that cannot. In some cases,
testosterone, well, I don't know if he's talking about like enhancement therapy, but it can make you treat women better. It can help you because you're gonna feel better overall. You're gonna be more productive. You're gonna have more energy, and you're probably gonna, if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing with it. It's like, let me just say, for example, we're not talking about the same thing, but steroids. Okay, I've never taken steroids in my life other than a prednisone for inflammation. But if you take steroids and you don't do anything with it, you're a fucking loser. Okay, right. but if you're taking steroids because you're in the industry, you're a bodybuilder or whatever, and you're doing what you're supposed to do with it, then you're going to maximize the potential of the steroid. So even with testosterone, it's like, yeah, clearly you have to manage yourself. Okay. Men need to do a much better job at managing their emotions and their psychology. That is the biggest problem with men today, is that they cannot control their thoughts. They don't manage their relationships well, and they don't manage their own discipline and really their even like lifestyle choices very well at all. Too easily led, too easily broken, and not focused entirely enough.
I could not agree more. Ray Palmer says maturity makes the man, not the woman. Let us go to Jay from outside of the U.S. Jay, you're on with Donovan and EO. Go ahead.
Hey, appreciate you guys taking my call.
Sure.
Donovan, EO, I love you guys' content so much. I just had a quick question.
Gotcha. Go ahead, man.
Coach EO said never go to a woman's house. But I wanted to know, how am I supposed to finesse this? Because I'm in the military, I'm overseas, I'm meeting women. So do I still not go over to the house? You know what I mean?
Well, that's a different situation, clearly, right? If you're overseas, I mean, I'm sure you have a domicile there, right? Somewhere you go to on a nightly basis.
Right.
Yeah. If you're overseas, go to her house. I mean, I don't know. What do you think, EO? I mean, should he still bring her back to the
it didn't take me many times to realize that you should never put women in the power position. Okay. I'm going to tell you right now, anytime you do anything on the woman's terms, you are putting her in the power position. And now in her mind, she's going to leverage that. Okay. It's just the bottom line. So when you're in your house, or even if you're booking a hotel room, you're in the power position. Okay. So I'm sure there's hotel rooms there. Mm-hmm. And so, I would say, now look, I mean, I'm very strict on this. Do not put women in the power position unless you put her there. Okay. Unless you put her there, you delegate a job and now she's responsible for that job. You've placed her in the power position. Okay. But being at the mercy of, I don't have a home, I don't have an apartment, I don't have a key somewhere, I guess I'll go to this woman's house. Well, you need to make some more money. I'm not saying you, I'm saying generally speaking, men need to make more money, bro. Like, get a hotel room. When I was 21, 22 years old, before I got my own place, I was smashing chicks in hotel rooms left and right, dude. And so I just do not recommend that guys do anything on a woman's terms.
Okay.
Copy.
All right. I appreciate that, Jay. Let's go to Joe. Pardon me. Let's go to Joe in Boston. So you want to know how to keep a relationship stable in modern times? Very interesting question. Joe, you're on live with EO and Donovan. Go ahead.
Can you guys hear me?
Sure can.
All right. Yeah. So my question is, now I'm not the relationship type of guy. I know a lot of guys want a relationship. I'm actually fine with being a player my whole life if it comes to that. I mean, one day I would like to get married. And when I say married, I don't mean like government marriage, like maybe religious or some sort.
Sure. Without the paperwork.
A way. Say that again?
Yeah, without the paperwork. Have a ceremony, but don't sign anything.
Yeah, correct.
Yep.
So, I was wondering, because I know that in today's modern age, I think if anything, a relationship is more so, how do I put this? Kind of like, well, you have to work for it, but it's more so for the above average man, because an average man, if he was I believe if he was to get into a relationship, the average man can. It's just that he has to be able to face the fact that the woman's probably going to cheat on him, that she's probably going to treat him like shit, she won't respect him, just because solely on the fact that average women don't respect average men, or men in general, really.
Well, in order to sort of thwart that, then you need to become an above average man.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm on.
And there was a slight contradiction to what you said in this call too. I sense you sound young. How old are you, caller? How old are you?
I'm actually 20.
Oh,
yeah,
God.
You're entirely too young to be making. I don't even believe, and I'm not being disrespectful, but you haven't even like. Steve the Dean says this a lot. Your balls haven't even dropped yet, and so as a shout out to Steve. But what I'm saying is that like everything you're saying is regurgitated information, because I know you haven't lived this. So what I would encourage you to do is refrain from listening to some. Now, I'm not saying to not consider what another man experienced, but you are entirely too young to be making these judgment calls. You're saying that you just want to be a player, brother. When you turn 30, you may not want to be a player. So you gotta like allow yourself to be young, okay, and let yourself be 20. Okay, don't try to be 40 yet. You're 20, dude. You got a long way to go. So be careful not to attach yourself to these philosophies that other men have in the manosphere. Listen to it, consider it, be grateful for it. But at the end of the day, you have to build your own life and create your own, have your own experiences to create your own determinations as to what man you truly want to be.
Good stuff, man. Let me read a little more of this article, because I think the next part of this is pretty telling. So it says, according to analysis of FBI data, of all female homicides accounted for in 2018, where the relationship between the perpetrator and victim could be identified, 92% of cases involved women or girls killed by a man they knew, 63% of whom were killed by their current husbands, ex-boyfriends, or current boyfriends. This puts confirmed American female intimate gendered killings happening at a staggering rate of almost 3 women every day. I don't know how prevalent that is. Those circumstances are drastically different to men who are killed by other men in 3/4 of the cases in over a quarter of centuries by strangers. Yet this particularity and predictability receives barely any attention domestically. While in France, the word femicide or feminicide is now used as a way of describing the epidemic of women killed by men in intimate settings. The term is barely understood outside of niche circles in the US. This, in spite of the fact that there are 10 times more women killed in this way in this country than France. 1,014 confirmed intimate acquaintance killings of women in the US in 2018, compared to 120 that same year in France. Adjusting for population size, the problem is twice as bad in the US and France. Now, the reason why I decided to highlight this particular part of the article is, number one, I don't believe any of those statistics. Like, fuck out of here. Women are given everything. They're coddled. Their causes are all taken up by men, women, and transformers all alike. If girlfriends and wives were being, if 3 of them were being killed by their husbands and lovers and boyfriends and ex-boyfriends every day, then this would clearly make the news. Am I wrong? Or, I mean, is there some truth to this?
No, it definitely would make the news, and these numbers are skewed and biased clearly, and so no, I definitely agree with you.
Okay, hang on 1 second. Oh, no, never mind. Okay, so Olivia has a... Okay. 2 seconds. Next time, let me know before. Okay, so now I'm going to have a conversation with Dev. So we have Olivia today, and she's brought over a male friend.
How old is Olivia? How old is Olivia?
She's 13.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Give me just give me a second because
sure. Take care of that.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No. I'll handle it. I'll handle it. We're almost done here.
Yes.
I just gotta make sure. Sorry.
Hey, we got to go out there like Martin Lawrence and Will Smith, like Bad Boys, man.
You know it. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. All right. So what are your thoughts on this particular stat? Or what you were saying that do you believe it's that prevalent, or do you think it's exaggerated?
I think it's that prevalent, but I also think that they're not allowing for the flip side of that coin to be documented as much. Okay. So like, yes, I do think that it's prevalent, it's happening, but they're making it look like women are these innocent, like you said, saints, and they're not doing anything to encourage this behavior or to egg it on. Like, look, if like, for example, a woman gets out of a relationship and she's in a rebound phase. And usually a lot of women and a lot of people in general do not take the necessary time to slow down after a breakup and to kind of like recalibrate, introspect, and kind of take a look at the last relationship to see where they went wrong so they don't make that same mistake again in the next relationship. And so a lot of the time what they do is they just jump right into another man's bed. So because out of fear of being alone. So they're kind of reckless in that sense. So if you go and date a guy in a rebound phase and your emotions are all over the place, you're still feeling hurt over the past relationship, but yet you don't want to be alone, you're probably going to choose a person who is not good for you. So if that, I mean, I'm not excusing the behavior, but women have to hold themselves accountable. It's like, yo, slow down, lady. You just got out of a relationship. Hold yourself accountable. Where did you fuck that relationship up? Instead of blaming him, where did you fuck it up, bitch? Like, so that's why I call women out, and I'm very harsh about it because they're not going to listen unless you are this direct and this harsh about it. So that's why I tell women, like, hey, be more responsible. Hey, watch how you talk to this man. Watch how you treat this man. Make up the proper selection. Because hey, if you're all over the place emotionally and getting out there, getting yourself together, going to the gym and getting in better shape and changing your hair and your physical identity, but your emotional identity hasn't changed a bit, if not gotten worse, it's inevitable that you're going to make a foolish selection on a man, and there's consequences for doing that.
No, dude, I totally agree. Damaged women love damaged men. I don't think there's any question about that. I think that this article, does this happen in the United States? Yes, it absolutely does, but not at this rate. What this article is trying to do, it's trying to characterize, well, most women are being killed by their husbands and lovers and boyfriends and ex-boyfriends. You don't want to know what this is going to do? This is going to draw yet a further wedge between men and women. Hang on, come in. Hey, what's up? Come on in. I'm not gonna bite you. Come on in. How you doing? What's your name? My name's Alex too. Good strong handshake. Well, you're a big kid. All right. Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of. All right. Just wanted to lay eyes on you. All right. Okay. I'll see you later. Here, take the dog with you. Go on. Yeah, close my door. Thank you. All right. That was a big fucking kid, dude. That was a big fucking kid. Wow. Holy shit. I made sure his name was Alex. Olivia has a thing for dudes named Alex. What the fuck? Yeah, so I made sure I squeezed his hand a little hard just to make sure he understood what the fuck was up. But he looked harmless. Okay, let's go to the phone lines. Let us go to Franz in Oregon. He has an opinion. Oh, he wants to know our opinion about men who travel Is it okay to not be looking? I'll let Franz ask the question. Franz, you're on live with Donovan and EO.
Yeah, I'm in Vermont, not Oregon.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry about
I
that.
think you got the question. No problem, Donovan. No problem. This is for Donovan and EO. I'm just curious what your take is. What do you think of a single man like myself in my 40s who decides he just wants to go and travel to Asia and decides, well, I just want to have a good time, meet some buddies, and I don't have an expectation to hook up. But if I do hook up, how many hours out of the day should I be spending with her so I can keep the expectations low?
It really depends upon what your goals are. If you're just looking to go out there to have some fun, then have fun. Don't have any expectations. What do you think, EO?
I didn't really hear him that well. So he met somebody. He's trying to figure out how much time he should spend with her. Is that accurate?
I mean, what do you think of just going there without the expectation of hooking up, finding somebody? But if you do find somebody, how much of the day should you be spending with the person at maximum so they don't have high expectations?
Okay, well, I'm going to tell you this. This is my rule of thumb, and this is how I coach men. Women come dead last.
Straight up.
Okay, so they're last on the list. Yeah. So they should never be first, second, third, fourth, or fifth. Now, if your list should be probably that long. It should be like, you wake up in the morning, maybe, depending on the man, maybe you do some 15-minute meditation. Okay, maybe you do some meditation, clear your head. Okay, then you do some a 20-minute workout. Okay, and then you make yourself a coffee and a light breakfast. Okay, eat a couple fucking hard-boiled eggs or whatever it is you eat, and then you get ready to go to work. You're on time. You take care of your business affairs. You make sure your household is in order. And then I would say after you've pretty much managed all of the man shit, then at that point you could even decide, do you even want to be bothered with this woman tonight? Now she doesn't have to be that prevalent in your life. Shit, I'd rather watch Monday Night Football than have a broad over, to be honest with you.
Real talk.
But you're not gonna know, and you're not gonna know that and feel that until you've realized what a nuisance women are. Okay, so I'm just being honest. I always say this, and a lot of guys are gonna get mad, but I say that only simps have fun with women. Ooh. I don't have fun with women. Women are not fun. Okay, I wouldn't describe women as fun. They're not fun to me. Okay, I'm a man. I don't have fun with women. Okay, now when we get together, there's a purpose for us to get together. It's time to have the masculine feminine exchange, which is enjoyable, but I wouldn't really call it fun. It can be fun, but rule of thumb, I don't think women are fun at all. I'm fun, and I'm including her in on fun. Okay, and that has to be the mindset. So just I will say this: women come dead last.
Good. Very good. So this is what this dating environment has created. And this is unfortunate. So I'll just call him Vidman, says, even the most alpha men can get cheated on because there's always someone better and hypergamy is endless. That is a very true statement. But that doesn't mean, see, the thing is this, man, with this, and listen, he's right. But with that attitude, guys like this are making excuses not to commit to women, and I don't blame them. Listen, committing to a woman and having a relationship, it's hard work, and these days the way women are, it's just not worth it. But by the same token, when guys make statements like this, even the most alpha men, so even the most accomplished men, it's still useless to get into relationships with women because they're still going to cheat. There's always someone bigger and better. Yeah, maybe, but as long as you keep your shit together, there are no guarantees. But if you keep your shit together, keep her in line, stay on your purpose and put her on your purpose, then you're going to drastically reduce the odds of a woman cheating on you. I think what a lot of guys like Vidman, I think a lot of guys always use they like to use well, it doesn't matter. There's always someone bigger and better out there. Women are always going to cheat. Listen, women cheat. There's no question about that. But not all women cheat. Do women cheat on high status men? Absolutely. They do it all the time. But the more organized and structured your life is, and of course you have to vet her and train her properly, the less likely it is that she is going to take advantage of you. See, guys like Vidman thinks that there are high value, there are quality women out there just walking around on the quality woman tree. That's incorrect. Women are no longer ready made to be wives and mothers and good girlfriends anymore. It is incumbent upon us to train them to be that way. If that's not something you're interested in doing, listen, I don't blame you, dude. There are some days I wake up and I think, Jesus Christ, what the fuck am I in a relationship for? But to make a statement like that, even if you're the highest, even if you're a high status man, you can still be cheated on because there's somebody bigger and better, because hypergamy is endless. That is making things, that is oversimplifying things. If you don't think women are worth dating, just say that. I'm not going to be mad at you. You don't have to make excuses for me. Another statement that he made. See, here we go. Until they start selecting better men or having their parents select men for them, like in the old days, nothing will change. See, again, and listen, this guy is rightfully frustrated. You can tell that this guy, he's either just found this community, or he's been through it with women, and he's like, dude, that's it. Like, nothing we can tell this guy will give this guy any sort of hope. And so it always puzzles me as to why guys watch our content. We're telling you how to be successful in life. And when you're successful in life, a side effect is that you are more successful with women. Bobby G says, y'all are wrong on all accounts. Players with many options are weak as hell because they are not used to hearing the word no. OJ was high value, but we know what he did. I have no idea what OJ has to do with this conversation. Players with many options are weak as hell. So Bobby G says that players are not used to being told no. No, you're wrong. Women are the ones not being used to being told no. Players are told no all the time. That's why
they just don't care. A real player doesn't care. Okay. Of course. So you just got to know that real players here know all the time. Okay. But they just don't give a fuck. Okay. So that's the difference. Any player that I've ever known. Plus, he's also like very socially calibrated and understands women. So he's not going to shoot his shot at a woman that he could just sense there ain't nothing there. So like a true player doesn't just randomly, in my book, maybe your book is a little different, but in my book, a true player truly understands himself, and he studies it in his environment first before he makes an approach. He's not just randomly walking up to women. That's a thirsty man with no game doing that. Right. So, I mean, I understand his point, but he's off with that. Everybody hears no. There is no one on the planet right now that's not hearing no.
No, right.
Yes.
Now Vidman sort of redeems himself. He says most players won't get attached to any specific woman to care. There we go. But then he said OJ. So they're talking about OJ Simpson. Guys, I don't know if you know this. OJ Simpson is a sociopath. He's a sociopath. Yes, he slept with other women, and he had a wife, and she was sleeping with other guys, and this and that and the other. That situation is an outlier. So for guys to come in here and say, well, OJ had this and OJ had that, and he still killed Nicole. Yeah, he did. Neither of us is OJ. OJ Simpson is a sociopath. I'm not a sociopath. I have a diagnosed condition that I do very well now, keeping track and keeping that down. It is what it is.
Let me say something real quick, Donovan. I'll make it real fast. So the guy talking about a woman's hypergamous nature and stuff like that. You realize if you try to upgrade a loser and try to take a loser to a winning lifestyle, that she's going to self-destruct and probably go fuck somebody that's a loser again. Okay, so just know that right now, women don't always date up. Sometimes they go right back down to the bottom where you found them because you're a desperate motherfucker that tried to upgrade a loser bitch. So just remember, you think women only date up. No, sometimes you can introduce her to a bomb ass lifestyle, and for a minute she likes it, but see she's underqualified to commit to that and to adhere to that program, and then she goes right back to where you found her.
Very good. Not only that, those women cheat down because they know that you're too good for them.
That's right.
Right? Like women listen, low value women will cheat on high value men because they subconsciously know I'm gonna fuck this up one way or the other because I really don't deserve this.
That's right.
So Benjamin said, what the hell? I guess he was talking about my exchange with Alex. He then laughed and said, okay, alpha male. Okay, so this is another man making fun of another man trying to protect his, I guess, step niece or whatever the case may be. EO, these are the kinds of men. These are the kinds of men who shoot up malls. These are the kinds of men who who put their hands on women, this and that and the third. What I just displayed there, listen, I've not called myself an alpha male. I'm never gonna do that. Only the market can describe me as an alpha male. That's what I strive to be, but I'm not going to put a label on it. But the fact that he is sitting here making fun of the fact that I want to meet a kid that's in my house with Devin's niece, who is bigger than she is, and a male, that just speaks to the men who are not really here to soak up the content. They're here to just make, well, you're an alpha male. Nobody said I was an alpha male, but please, by all means, continue with the name calling when you're ready. And I say this with all seriousness: when you're ready to stop being angry at men who are doing better than you are, I'm happy to help. I'm always happy to help. A couple of other quick comments, and we will move on. We've got Big A in Dallas on the line coming up next. Give me 2 seconds because I saw yes. I'll strike with the $10 super chat. I can't answer that right now. We'll answer that later because we got Big A on the line. Black Goliath, I like that. $10 super chat says, salute to D Sharp and EO, respect to the brethren. Love it. Let's see. Oh, here we go. BC Warrior says, yo, first step is that looks matter. That's your game. Everything else is just secondary. I hope you're talking about women and not men. Yes, looks definitely matter to women. They have to be attracted to you physically. But just because you're not a top 5% guy in terms of looks does not mean, dude, most good looking guys have no game. You understand that? This is why women don't have game, because guys approach them all the time. Most women can't carry on a simple conversation because they're just used to being there, and that's enough. Most good-looking guys don't really understand game because girls are throwing themselves at them all the time. So again, when you're ready to hunker down, accept the truth, and really put in the work, I ain't mad at you. It is what it is. Anthony Drossis says these guys need to get over their feelings. Yeah, I'll let these guys in. I let these guys in to show the to show on these guys.
You got to remember too. Let me tell this guy something real quick. You got to remember, good looking is subjective, and good looking guys get turned down. Okay, they do. Yeah. Sometimes you're too good looking. Sometimes understand this, because these guys are lame and don't have experience. Okay, these trolls. So I'm going to say something to you. If a woman just got done with a good looking guy, and it did not go well for her, she's not going for another good-looking guy next. She's most likely going for an average-looking guy to get her energy back up. Okay, just know this right now. So it's all about seasons and understanding where a woman's at right now emotionally. So once she's done with that ugly motherfucker, okay, that just validated her for 3 months, now she goes back to a good-looking guy. So you just got to understand this. Women will shun and turn down good-looking men if she just came from a good-looking guy. Okay, think about it. We could have really fine chicks, but we got rid of her ass. We're like, where's that 6 at that gives good dome? I need that bitch back in my life. So you know what I'm saying? So you'll go back to that 6 that makes macaroni and cheese and meatloaf for you and caters to you, because this motherfucker you were just with was lazy as shit. So just remember that you generally go for where you just were. You don't usually go in that same direction next. Now you might circle back, but you ain't going there next. So that good looking guy that you think gets all the women, not if he meets that chick.
Well said, man.
That's some good game right there.
That was, if I had my Don DeMarco button, I'd play it. The Guns, Guitars, and Tactic Show says this community is about helping men build themselves. I can't figure out why people, especially other men, try to drag this movement down. It's because they're not ready yet. I don't honestly, with trolls and everything, I used to take that kind of stuff personally, but we have to remember that we were where they were at one point. Men that like to troll guys like us, they're simply in the anger phase, man. And I don't hold that against them. Like when guys figure out that they've been lied about, or that they've been lied to, they're feeling some type of way. And here we are, we have these successful lives and these successful relationships, and they're mad that we have figured, no problem. Hey, when you're ready to take life a little bit more seriously and stop trolling, it is what it is. Let us go to Big A from Dallas. Big A from Dallas, you want to talk about the importance of men's mental health and physicality?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. How y'all fellas doing today? Y'all doing all right?
Doing good, man. How about yourself?
Hey, man, I can't complain. Even if I did, ain't nobody gonna listen to me.
Real talk.
So, Yeah, man. The far as the mental health and just taking care of yourself, man. I mean, like there was a situation that happened to me about 5 years ago. I got bit by a spider on my ankle, where I moved out in the country, and I was out on my property, and I get bit by a spider on my ankle, and I was so used to doing home remedies, and not realizing, I finally went to the doctor because my ankle swole up pretty bad. Doctor told me if I didn't come within a week, I would have to get my foot amputated. So with that being said, I've learned, period after that, to get routine checkups. With me being in my mid 30s, eventually in 5 more years, I'm gonna be in my 40s. Definitely have to take care of my health more and get routine checkups, physicals, and stuff like that. And I think more on it too was more not being used to it, because women are used to going and get routine checkups, and me going to the doctor, I'm not gonna lie, I did feel uncomfortable. I did, because there was something I wasn't used to doing on a regular.
Right.
But now that I'm at the age where I'm more comfortable at getting those physicals and getting blood work and getting things done too. Now I'm not going to go off subject too much. Now I do want to piggyback off of what somebody said earlier, pertaining to the players and everything like that. What I can't say is, growing up, I was never the guy in high school to get all the chicks and everything like that. But what I depended on was I was a very good talker.
Okay.
So I had a friend told me back when I was a teenager, back when I was probably about 19, 20 years old, he was telling me, he was like, "Hey, yo, man, you want ugly looking MF?" I said, "Yep," and I'm still getting phone numbers.
Real talk.
So a lot of times, so a lot of times I have friends. I mean, now I've changed. My looks have changed. I think I'm a pretty decent looking guy now, but at the time I didn't take care of myself. I didn't cut my hair. Now I'm more eating healthy and taking care of myself now. But at the time, I had friends that would literally get jealous of me. You figure, they say, okay, this brother is dating this, or is talking or hooking up with this sexy blonde head chick that everybody wanted, but I was just a very good talker. And I don't care how much money you have a lot of times, or how you look a lot of times, but if you're a very good talker, a lot of times you could get the woman that you want. Not necessarily saying they're getting a serious relationship, but if you're talking about just having fun, just having a great time, a lot of times being a very good talker, man, that goes pretty far, man.
Let me ask you something, Big A, because I used to have a friend by the name of Big A when I lived in Altus, Oklahoma. Have you ever lived in Altus, Oklahoma before?
No, sir.
Okay. All right, because he used to call himself Big A. I was like, wait a minute.
I'm originally from Virginia, man, but I live in Texas now.
Good stuff. Thanks for sharing the story, man.
And I think too, I'm a military brat too, so maybe
so you know all about it.
Moving around, yeah. So, man, look, living around different nationalities, bro. I never had the opportunity to mingle like that, because my dad retired from the service when I was pretty young, man, but I was able to mingle in with different races of people. And I grew up in a predominantly white area. And you see this black guy dating this
white girl,
these nice blonde. Oh man, the father, it got to the point where I actually say, did you tell your dad about me? Oh yeah, yeah. Did you tell your dad about me? Or you tell your parents about me? And they could, and a lot of them, they could not take me home to their family, man, because she was like, "Yeah, I think it's best that we go somewhere else, or maybe we could go to the movies and hang out somewhere else. I can't bring you home to my family because one chick I dated brought me home to her family, and she was German. And but her parents." Her parents were German, but they lived anyway. They lived here, lived here in the States. And I put it to you like this, man. And I would have to say she was so attractive, man. I had guys talking to her in front of me.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
And I never forget, I told her this. I was in my early 20s. I told her this. I said, just as quick as I got you, I will find another female.
Yep.
Because because at the end of the day, I was told, don't you ever fight over no chick. Now, listen, I have got in situations where I've cried over females. I got my heart broken.
Sure.
I've gotten played before.
We all do.
I've been cheated on. Not every woman I've hooked up with has been a dime piece. I've hooked up with some big girls. I will admit that, you know, I will admit that. But I've learned now where I'm at a point in time in my life where, hey man, you just, a lot of guys, they don't realize you don't have to spit some, hey baby, how you doing? Just sit there and talk to women. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. And if you keep your hair presentable, you cut your hair off, cut it bald or shape it up, eat healthy, eat right, take care of yourself. If your breath stinks on a regular, brush your teeth. That's a big thing, your breath. That's a big thing. I've learned because
definitely, dude, you definitely have to take care of the breath. Appreciate the call, Big A. I'll strike with the $10 super chat. Says, a bit off topic. Would you bother dating while you're recovering from a broken leg? Can't run, can't fight, but can limp around and do other things. Full recovery takes months. I would recommend not. Get yourself right, and then make sure your leg is fully healed and start dating again. What do you think, EO?
Okay, 2 points real quick to the last caller. He seems like the personality type that kind of not puts pressure on women. There was the word I was looking, like that wears her down. Okay, there's players in the game that will stay very persistent and wear a woman down. Just don't ever fall in love with those women, because they're not with you because they genuinely like you. They're just with you because the timing is right, and maybe there was a fast opening and she let you in because you just wore her down. But women like that generally will never truly like you that much. So I just want to tell players in the game, if you're the type of guy that wears women down, see me, I don't wear nobody down because I got the ultimate abundance mindset. But if managing, yes, but wear women down, no. But if you're that at that point in the game where you wear women down with your persistence, don't ever fall in love with her, because that's going to be a short-lived situation. So I'm just protecting your emotions by telling you that. And then the second thing is, if you're managing your life well, for example, I shattered my entire left arm. I got a plate and 8 screws in my left arm, which took a tremendous recovery. I had bitches in the rotation that were coming over, putting ointment on my shit. I was getting blowjobs with a cast on and shit. I mean, remember that if you have women that you manage well, then that means if life has a sudden change, such as a broken leg or a broken limb, then those women should be taking care of you. So just remember, like, if you're on E with women, you can still get a woman. Shit, you can go to the store. Shit, I would be hitting on chicks at the physical therapy office, bro. So yeah, I mean, you got to be a dude that seizes opportunities.
I agree. So Jimmy Holloway, a little while back, put in the chat, but remember, women are hypergamous by nature. I asked him what that means. I said, well, what do you mean? The reason why I asked that is that a lot of guys don't really understand the real meaning of hypergamy. Most men in this community define hypergamy as a woman's always going to cheat on you, right? She's always looking for somebody to cheat on you with. No. Hypergamy means a woman is going to consolidate on the highest value men available to her. That's what that means. Just because, now again, understand, it is 2021. We get that. And if a woman has a chance to cheat on you with a high value guy, she'll do it. If she has a chance to cheat on you with a lower value guy, especially if she feels like she doesn't deserve you, she will absolutely do it. And again, this is what we teach guys all the time. Keep your value as high as possible, guys. Keep your value as high as possible. And don't do it so that your girl doesn't go anywhere. Do it for you. Just understand that when you have that attitude, like, hey, women are always going to be hypergamous, it's almost like you're waiting for the other shoe to drop. Instead of waiting for the other shoe to drop, how about constantly increasing your value? Get in the weight room, make more money, come up with other goals. If a woman sees that you're about your shit, if a woman sees that you really are about your shit, not saying that she's not going to go anywhere, but she's much less likely to cheat on or leave you. Them's the breaks, man. You could be the highest value guy there is. If there's a higher value guy available to your woman, she is more than likely going to try to pursue that other offer. That's how it is. That's the game. But if you're a high value guy, understand that if you're a high value guy, there aren't many men with your value, right? A lot of average guys like, well, women are hypergamous. Well, of course, that's what you have in your head because you're an average guy. You're an above average guy, right? So if you're an average guy and an above average guy makes himself available to your woman, well, guess what? She's going to leave you for that above average guy. So what do you need to do? You need to make yourself above average. If you're above average, your woman is going to be looking and a man whose value is higher than yours, she's going to consolidate on that guy. That's how this is. But once you reach a certain of value in terms of being in shape, annual income, monthly, whatever income, at that point, you start to put yourself in rarefied air. Okay, are there higher value guys around? Yeah, but they might be in Russia, Florida, Ukraine. I mean, unless your woman is getting flown out to these places, at which point you should know at which point you should already have laid down the edict. I don't date women who travel alone. Then guess what? Again, there's no guarantees, but she is not. The higher your value is, the less likely it is your woman is going to cheat on you. There are no guarantees, fellas. We don't sit here and say if you do X, Y, and Z, your woman will never cheat. No, that's false. That's bullshit. All we teach here is how to increase your value to decrease the likelihood of shenanigans happening.
You know what? And that's awesome. That was a great segment. And another thing, like I'm a dictator. So yes, I'm dictating every facet of every interaction with a female. There ain't nothing that she makes a decision on.
They love it.
like unless I give her the allowance to make a decision on.
There you go.
Now, a lot of people might say, damn, you're controlling. Fuck that. If I'm not controlling it, it's going to fall apart. I've learned that if I'm not controlling it and setting the guidelines, it's going to fall apart. Okay. So the most of the time that a woman leaves you and cheats on you and falls for the fucking janitor and shit is because you're not managing the relationship. Okay. That's why I started LTR, lead the relationship. You have to be firsthand in making all the decisions in your relationship. Now there's going to be a lot of guys that say, damn, that's too much work. Then you're not qualified to be with women. Okay.
There it is.
And I'm all for double standards. I am all for double. When a woman says, well, that's a double standard, I don't care. I don't care what you think is a double standard. Okay. I do this, and this, and this. And all you're required to do is fucking talk soft, be peaceful, and don't cause me a headache and give me good dome when I want it. All right. And run errands. Okay. I'm doing the majority of the work. Fuck you. Like YouTube chill. But I mean, I will tell a bitch that right away. Yo, go fuck yourself. I'm doing fucking everything here, okay? I do the majority of everything in this motherfucking situation, including fuck you, all right? Because women can't fuck. So, and I'm just being real with men right now so they can truly feel this and understand this. The reason why women get over on you and the reason why they go with other men is because your ass is too damn soft.
Bingo. Dude, I could not agree more. And by the way, guys, here's some next level game for you. If your woman or a girl you're dating says, OMG, you're so controlling, the answer to that is, wait, you're just now figuring this out, and leave it at that. Leave it at that. That is going to do it. This is a great episode of Next Level Game, man. These are really, really elite level game. These are starting to really get good. EO, man, tell the people where they can find you.
Yeah, man. First of all, it's been great to be back with you. Appreciate everything, man. Yes, I'm Coach EO. I go by Mr. Champion Game. Why do I call myself that? Because that's what this information is. And so come on through, subscribe. I'm hard as shit. But I mean, well, I want the best for men and women. I do want the best for women, but the only way to get the best out of women is to be a strong motherfucking man. And so follow me on Instagram, Coach EO _Champion Game. There's a lot of free game there. Also, the magic happens during one-on-one coaching sessions. championgamecoaching.com, where you can reserve time with me. Cut the Bullshit is my book, which is on Amazon. Second book coming out pretty soon. And that's it, man. Good to be back with you guys.
Good shit, man. He is Coach Everett Overton. EO, thanks for making time for us today, man. We really appreciate it.
Everybody. Thank you, brother.
All right, man. That is Coach Everett Overton of Champion Level Game. I'll read let me read these last few comments here. Very good comment by Anthony Drasos. I think that's how you pronounce that, or Drasos. Says, women don't respond to 50-50. Patrice O'Neill. Damn right. Damn right. The Guns, Guitars, and Tactics show. Says, fantastic show today, gentlemen. Yeah, never be soft. And Anthony says, I learned that one the hard way. Let's see. Who else do we got here? Yes, Vidman says, EO with the facts. That's the way God intended men to be. That's the way my dad was and how I was brought up, dude. I'm gonna tell you what, dude, you're a lucky man, dude. You listen, a lot of people say, man, you're a lucky man if you have a hot girlfriend. No, you're a lucky man if you're raised by a father like Vidman has. I'm glad that I am where I am, but it was, dude, I'd have got here 20 years earlier if I had actually had a father who was worth a damn. Vidman hits it again. Hypergamy, seeking bigger, better deal. That's the way it is. That's the way it is. Crypto Werewolf, good to see you, man. Says always good guys. Awesome deal. Appreciate that very much. That is going to do it for this edition of Elite Level Game. We will see you guys next Sunday. Same bat time, same bat channel. Take care.